Have you ever been strolling along your regular residential road and a cat standing on two legs comes up to you with a buff as heck arm and just... No, ah! Because I haven't, and as far as I can tell, that would be... pretty painful. And speaking of painful, today I'm going to be talking about my worst experiences with pain. If you're of any sense, then you've probably been to one of those bouncy castle places as a kid, and they were always pretty fun. We got the castles, the parkour, the slides... One thing I always remembered about those places was those horrible friction burns you'd get going down the slides. Like, you'd be having a genuinely good time, then you get to the end and just be like... Ugh! And there have been many times where I distinctly remember getting up to the top, looking down, and noticing that there were dark markings going all the way down the slide that, thanks to my imaginative autistic brain, looked like dried blood. And sure enough, I would go down, and by golly, it would hurt like hell! Honestly, I have no idea what the bouncy castle maker people were thinking when they made this thing. I imagine that the thought process being something along the lines of, hey, how about we have this one part at the end where you have the option to let your knees be like, alright, I'm gonna go die real quick. A friend of mine, his name's Michael, apparently had a similar experience with bouncy castle slides. You see, Michael wears jeans a lot. I personally can't relate, I got sensitive legs. So Michael was at a bouncy castle place thing, and he got to the end where there was one of those slides, and apparently, as he went down, he burned permanent holes in his jeans. Myself, I can't imagine how painful that would be, but it just goes to show how powerful the laws of physics are. Another common example of pain is stubbing your toe. Everyone watching this has had to have stubbed their toe at one point, and if you haven't, how do I be like you? Stubbing your toe can be annoying, but I don't know if this is just my nervous system being scrungly or something, because sometimes I'll stub my toe and it'll hurt with constant brutal pain for at least 5 minutes. Like, I remember we were taking vacation to England, and we were staying at our grandparents' house, which had like 2 floors. At this time, my grandparents were not home, so it was just me, my mom, and my sister. My mom and sister were on the bottom floor making breakfast or whatever, and I was on the top floor doing something stupid. And I heard my mom call from downstairs saying that breakfast was ready, and so I was like, okay! And I started to walk out of the room. Then my toe caught violently on the edge of the doorway barefoot, and it hurt so much I actually had to lie down and cry on the floor. My mom heard the commotion upstairs and went to check on me, and was surprised to see me on the floor holding my toe, which felt like it was being stabbed with 10,000 tiny little needles. Now, fortunately for me, and sadly for you because of entertainment, I've never broken a bone before. Not even a tiny little finger or something. But I've gotten quite close though. It was just an average day, and I was on a Discord call with friends, and we were just chilling. Then, someone decides to put a video of every Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare in 35 seconds, you know, the ones that go like... And so little old me, trying to be funny, is like, ooh, someone put a meme in the chat, let's see what it is. Then started shaking violently. I slowly began to slip out of my chair and then fall on my back on the floor. After wriggling around a bunch, I figured out the hard way that if I moved at all, it would hurt! I managed to flip myself onto my stomach and then realized that now I was on my stomach, any move I made was impossible and couldn't get up at all. So I did the next best thing. Screamed for help. I knew that if I full-on yelled, it would hurt a lot. So all I could really muster was, "Hey, Mom? Come here." So my mom came in and managed to get me up slowly and painfully. Oh, did I mention, while this was happening, I was still on the call and could hear my friends laughing at me faintly from my headphones. Oh, and I can't believe I've gone through this entire video without talking about all the emotional pain and trauma I've gone through. Think about it, pain might be a good thing, because it reminds us what we should and shouldn't do in life. And honestly, I wouldn't call that a good thing per se, but, you know, it's pain. Haha, you expected another frying pan, didn't you? Well, you should know that I'm less predictable than that.